So today we're going to talk about how to sell your coaching this summer. But before we go any further, I want to tell you that what I'm going to teach you today is the way that I grew this niche of helping coaches in 2021. Many of you know I've been in business since 2000, helping people in business. So for a long time, but when I switched to helping only coaches in 2021, I actually did a free call strategy that I'm going to teach you about today that I made $100,000 in 6 months with no email list, no social media following, no nothing. So, what I'm going to teach you today, I've done personally, and it's a strategy that will be beneficial for you too. I'm Debbie Shadid. So glad you're here. I specialize in helping women who are terrible at tech. They don't love social media, although they're on social media, and you probably found me from social media. They want to look like a pro and they want their business set up. I'm going to use air quotes correctly, like whatever correctly is, which I understand. Most women over 50, which if you're less than 50, welcome. I'm glad you're here too. We work with plenty of clients that are less than 50, but typically women over 50, they want to look good and they want to feel like they take the time and do it in the best manner. That's the women that I specialize in helping. But again, it applies to anybody that's here. If I was making a guess about sales though, and I can speak from my own experience, I would say that you might feel uncomfortable about sales. And that when you think about selling your coaching, and we had some beautiful conversations around this yesterday in our own coaching calls, you feel nervous. And I think one way to notice how you feel about selling is to answer the question, are you making offers? And if your answer is, I'm still getting ready, then I would say there might be something to look at there too. So while we do help people get ready, sometimes ready is an excuse that you don't even recognize yourself. Oftentimes people feel unprepared to sell, they're unsure about their offer, their price, all those things. And look, rejection is another thing we none of us want to experience, okay? I get that, and that's part of selling, but I will say when you sell, the incredible part is the victory on the other side when you get to take care of people. Let's get real though about what's happening. Before I show you how to sell, we need to talk about what's really going on around selling. If you don't sell, and I hate to say this, but you have a hobby, honestly. If you don't actually make money in your business, and if you've been at this for a couple of years, you need to decide, what am I actually doing here? Why don't I want to sell my coaching? What part of it is the part that I can't get over? What am I waiting for? Why am I not taking the action that I need to take to be making money in my business? So often we think, oh, I don't want to feel pushy. And I know myself, when I felt pushy, I could probably diagnose your pushiness, why you feel that way. I could probably diagnose what is happening when you feel like just icky all the way around sales. We could have a conversation. I could probably figure it out. You might be worried people are going to say no. You might be telling yourself, well, I'm not a salesperson. How many of you have said, like, oh my gosh, I just want to be a coach. If somebody could just bring the people to me, like I can be a great coach. That's a given. Who doesn't want people just brought to them? And so many of us who have had corporate jobs, we have never had to be the one to generate the people, right? We've had people brought to us in whatever role we've had. A lot of you might think, I don't want to be sounding like I'm desperate. I don't want to sound graspy. I don't want to feel like I'm bothering people. Which one of those lands hard for you? So, what do you have for the reason why you feel the way that you do? And I just went car shopping on Saturday. So, a lot of us might feel like the car salesman when we bought a car was doing his number on us. And I have to say, as I observed, that's not actually true either. We left there with not any discussion over price, over anything. We just left and we're like, we're not buying a car today. We were just looking. The guy didn't even follow us to our car, right? We didn't even have to exchange numbers. He was comfortable in himself that if we wanted that car, we'd come back and we would ask for him. How are you showing up as the coach who has got something to sell? And who are you blaming for this idea of being pushy? There's probably one or two people maybe in your life where you felt like somebody was really nagging you, or maybe nobody did, and you just have this idea about those pushy salespeople. Are you pushy when you talk to someone? This would be something that would be important for you to ask. Have you tried to convince anyone to buy something from you? I know that's something that a lot of people have a problem with when I start saying, like, you should send emails every day because the reality is only a handful of your emails will get opened every month, probably. That's why you want to send more emails, right? When people have time, they'll open your emails. What I think is probably really going on is that when you think about sales, you're thinking, I have to convince somebody to buy something. Good coaches, you might have an idea that they don't even have to sell. People just come to them. That is absolutely not true. There's so much misleading information. And I think our brain looks for evidence that, like, that person sold this stuff without having to ever tell anyone to buy anything. People just click and buy from them. That's not really the reality. There has been times in the last few years when that maybe might have been the case, but not anymore. People, for the most part, they do have to have sales conversations. Selling sometimes might just feel uncomfortable, and that's not a problem. Does all selling have to be aggressive or arm twisting? No, it does not. Absolutely not. Does it feel uncomfortable? Yes. It feels uncomfortable sometimes to sell, but you just do it anyway. I'm just going to tell you right now to help you. I call selling not a consultation, but a comfortable conversation. That's what you're actually going to have with somebody, a comfortable conversation where you decide if it's right for both of you. That's such a different way to look at it. If you feel like selling is convincing, you have to convince, manipulate, arm twist, you're not ready, all that stuff, I know what you're doing instead because I've done all of these things. This training is a reflection of who I was and what I am now, right? Posting on social media and hoping that somebody reaches out. If your social media posts don't even say that you have an offer or say anything about how you actually help people, and you're just posting pretty things and quotes and inspiring things, then your social media is not doing its job either. If you're avoiding having sales conversations altogether because you've actually never even invited somebody to talk to you, if you've not told your own people in your world what you do, you got to have a hard look at that. If you're telling yourself, I just need more followers before I can sell, that's not true. That is absolutely not true. Like I said, I had zero followers when I started selling. I think maybe I had an email list of maybe five when I made my first sale. Honestly, a small curated list is actually the most powerful list you can have. Today, I have thousands and thousands, and there are lots of people that I've never even seen or talked to. I want to make sure that you're not hiding behind creating the content that we all have to do instead of talking to people, instead of telling people how you can really help them. The reality is the discomfort that you have about selling is killing your business. If you have some stories about selling, you have no business. You can be the best coach in the world and you can create incredible transformations. You can have the perfect niche, all those things. But if nobody knows it, you have no business. You've had so many certifications and so much education, and you're not doing anything with it. You've got to make sure that people know what you're doing, which that's the uncomfortable part. In 2026 and beyond, if you don't learn how to sell in a way that feels really authentic, I don't think you're going to survive as a coach. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm just saying our business has changed so much in the last 12 months. The coaching industry is competitive. And I think the people that are actually selling and that are doing it in a genuine, real way with integrity, those people are going to rise to the top. Is that going to be you? People can get free advice from ChatGPT, Claude, whoever it is, all the AI things. So you have to learn how to sell over AI. I was thinking, how do you utilize AI with your coaching instead of trying to sell against AI? How do you make AI part of what you use in any coaching that you do? And join in the party, right? So we're humans and people will always need humans. We're not going to be replaced by ChatGPT, but it's important to know what value do you bring that is different than anyone else. I think human connection, we used to say after COVID, like everybody needs human connection. It just continues to be more and more amplified that we're really missing that. And that is what we actually bring to the puzzle. But you've got to be telling people that. You've got to talk all the time about how humans need to have conversations with people, right? People want that connection. We know it more than ever. And it is so easy to hide behind your marketing. It's so easy to hide behind an online business and in your local market, not even tell people what you're doing. It's so easy to sell your coaching in your local market, and most of you aren't even doing that. It is so easy to do free marketing. All the marketing that I teach is all free marketing. There are so many people who want to hire a coach. I genuinely believe this, but there's not enough people telling people what coaching is all about. There's so many people who know that they have something that they want to change that they don't even know coaching is a reality. I didn't know coaching was something that was accessible to me or that I even needed it or that it could even benefit me. This is all the work that we have to do to be able to sell our coaching. So before I dive into the process that I want to share, I want to talk about what I think might be the bigger issue, and that's a belief problem. That's at the root of what I'm really talking about here is your belief in your ability yourself. Before we even talk about sales scripts, do you believe that you can help somebody? Do you believe that the work that you have chosen to do really is of high value? Do you believe that you have the power to change one person's life? I get down to this really simple little thing where, somebody paid you $2,000 and you gave them one aha moment that could change their whole entire life. Is that worth the $2,000? I say it is. I can't make you believe in the work that you're doing. You have to believe in that yourself. But that is for sure the belief work that needs to come first. The second belief work is about sales. If I could just be told how to do it, or if somebody else could just tell me what to do. Now, to be honest, we have a conversation that we teach people how to do, and there are some good quality questions that you can ask people to help the conversation be more productive, I'll say. But every script that you have is not going to work if you don't believe in what you're doing. If you think you're just bothering people, if you think you're getting ready to, like, here I go, I have to tell them how much it cost. If you have any of those thoughts, it is absolutely killing what you're doing for sure. So, what I want you to know is when you sell the right person, and this goes to the beginning of your business, do you have the right niche? Do you know what their problem is? Do you know how to help them? Do you understand because you've had your own situation within this niche, right? If all those things are yeses, then you know how to find the right person. So if you're selling to the right person and you understand and have answers to all those questions, then you already know what they need. What if you just had in mind, I'm helping people? Like, really? If you know what you needed and you know the help that you got that changed your own life, wouldn't you want to help somebody else with the same thing? If you think about the fact that you're helping people, I know we always hear this, you're serving people, right? We hear people talk about that. Sales is service. Yes, it is. But this makes more sense. If you know how to help somebody with something and you know that they need it and you know they can benefit from it, then you selling them is helping them. It's you sharing what you do, and all you're waiting for is a yes or a no. When you believe in that part, the strategy that I'm going to tell you today isn't going to be hard. It will naturally work. When you don't believe that you know what you're talking about, that you know how to talk to the right person, that you can even help somebody, there's no strategy that's going to help you. That's actually when you will feel pushy, when you feel like you're trying to control things, right? When you're trying to make it happen. That's really where the gap is. There are so many opportunities. If you just go to any AI resource and you ask them, what is happening in the coaching space, you will get results just like this. Coaching is growing rapidly. I could cite all kinds of data about what the numbers are moving to, but look at this, 6.41 billion in 2026. Billion. Everybody only needs a few clients to have an incredible business. Even if you want to go big, let's say you wanted 100 clients, we're talking about 6.41 billion. That's such a huge market. You only need a portion of that. So, what if selling didn't have to feel the way that you think it has to feel? I'm going to tell you a way to sell that doesn't feel pushy, that will not require a script, will not require pressure, that will actually feel good, where you actually get to help people. And it will work even if you don't have an email list or a social media following. So here's what will change for you because it changed everything for me. free coaching calls. When I started in 2021 coaching coaches, I was literally like, I didn't even have a way to build a list fast enough to replace my income. I had a coaching business and I actually stopped emailing the niche that I was working with. Many of you know I was in the wedding business. I was coaching wedding professionals. I stopped that business and I needed to make money right away. And I was like, how am I going to make money? So I decided to start finding people that were building coaching businesses and offering free support. I just found people through my own certification. When I found somebody through my certification, I asked them, do you have any friends that are coaches? Do you know anyone who wants to be a coach? I started posting on social media free coaching calls. If you're in business and you want to have a coaching call with me, I'm going to help you. And every single coaching call that I had, I made sure that they left with a win. I made sure that they left knowing that I knew what I was talking about. I made sure that I stayed on long enough that they knew it. I didn't DM anyone. And I'm not saying that DM strategies are good or bad, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have to DM anyone. I actually found people and I connected through a Facebook post, right? And said, hey, I'm offering a free call. I reached out to friends. I reached out to fellow coaches and said, who do you know that might want to call? What I'm talking to you about is offering a free coaching session. Again, I'm going to say we're not coaching people in the comments. We're not answering one question at a time. We're giving them a real coaching session on Zoom. For me, everybody wanted to pick my brain. I'm like, no, we're not picking my brain. Just get on a call with me and I'll give you a coaching session. So, what I want to offer to you is that you can do, we have proof of this working for all of our clients, free 30-minute strategic coaching sessions. Those turn into consultations, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. So, here's what happened for me when I applied this to my own strategy. I got fully booked with 0 people following me on social media that were the right people. In 6 months' time, only 100 people on my email list. How did I grow my email list? I didn't even have a freebie. What happened was when I had a free call, I added him to my email list. So that's actually how I grew my email list. How did I decide how many calls I was going to have? I looked at my week and I was like, at the time was finishing out my old coaching, which was 2 hours a week, a group call 2 hours a week. I was like, I have 40 hours or 38 hours a week to have calls. I'm going to see how many calls I can fill up every single week until I can't do any more calls. That's how I approached it. It wasn't a matter of do I have time for 2 calls? It was like, I'm going to have calls until I am fully booked. Those calls turn into like this lady's picture right here. I did a free coaching call with her. She decided to become a private client who later became a group client. She made $100,000 herself in 9 months using the same exact process. Actually, Thais, who is our mindset coach who works with us inside of our program, she was also one of my free coaching calls that I had too. This is the same process that, again, we teach with our clients. You can see the results that our clients had, free coaching calls that were scheduled, and how many conversions they had out of free coaching calls. I want to make sure that I emphasize a free coaching call is not a consultation. A free coaching call is only a free coaching call. You cannot mix the two of those together because that's not an integrity. So even Thais, when we had our free coaching call, she said at the end of the call, now how can I work with you? And I said, well, you can't work with me. I mean, you can work with me, but I'm not going to talk about it on this call because this is a free coaching call. We'll have to schedule a consultation call. Strategic sessions is what you want to do. All of the women that I just showed you that had those results are all clients. They skipped posting. They didn't have a list. Most of them didn't have any following. Most of these people got results in just a very short amount of time. Now, I have told you how I did it, which was just literally by connecting people, posting on social media, finding other coaches, sending them an email. I went to their website. I checked them out if they had that. I went in groups. I did a lot of stuff in Facebook groups to find people. And then I asked for referrals. That's how I did it. There's an easier way to do it. Now, though, I will tell you, those calls were 100% free calls, and I gave real coaching. Again, as I mentioned to you, I really want to make sure that if you offer somebody a free coaching call, that at the end of the call, you're able to do a recap and you're able to tell them what they got from that call. You're able to say, let me do a recap. You started here, and we've gotten to the end of the call, and this is the takeaway that I've given you. so that they know what they got from you. You have an opportunity then to transition that to a consultation call, provided the person feels like they got real value. That's the key, provided they got real value. These are calls that follow a framework. Planned conversations. So you are not pitching your program, you're not using a sales script, you're not pressuring anyone to buy. You're not doing a strategy session. This right here, I'm telling you what, this is a thing right here that has given people a bad name in offering calls. So many people do strategy calls, and what they really are is sales calls. One of the things that I'll just tell you on a side note, when I first started working in my online business, was just even the name of what my calls were, like breakthrough call, discovery call. What do you name the call that you want to have with somebody for a consultation? Do you call it a consultation call? I wanted to make sure that the name that I was saying on my website, I say, come have a business assessment to see how it is that we could work together. I didn't want it to seem like it was anything but a consultation call, a conversation about our coaching, about coming to work with me. If you give somebody a 30-minute call, you can create a real eye-opening experience. That's the goal in the 30-minute call. You can demonstrate what it is like for somebody to work with you, for somebody to be coached by you. When I say this market has changed that we're in 2026 and beyond, it has, because there's no trust. Trust has been eroded, and you create trust by doing something like this, by showing people that you really do know what you're doing without charging them anything, by giving them value ahead of time. If you properly manage that call, and if you give somebody the aha, right, they get to see what it's like to be coached, they get to experience your coaching, and you're really being yourself, then you can invite them to have a conversation. I want to emphasize that is not during the same call. At the end of the call, you can do your recap. You can say, all right, here's what I see was our takeaway from this call. You came to me with this problem. We worked on it. Here was the outcome. But I also heard you talking about this and this. That is the work that I do with people. And I would love to invite you to have a conversation with me about how I can support you. That is a separate call. You give them a consultation link because that's a real consultation. Ideally, you would say, I've got time on my calendar tomorrow. Would that work for you? And you move them that direction to have a conversation. So no pressure and no rushing either, okay? Why does this work? It works because people experience you, because people get to know you. For me, it worked because people got to see that I really knew what I was talking about. Wow, this lady did help me figure out my niche in 30 minutes or less. She did tell me what my offer and package should be, or helped me figure it out in 30 minutes or less. They don't have to guess what coaching is, they get to see what coaching is. Everybody has a responsibility to help further the understanding of what coaching is. I think everybody should be hiring coaches, but the biggest gap is nobody's sure what a life coach can do. And I use the word life coach loosely. Everybody identifies as something else. But what most people think a coach is like somebody who's going to help you reach your goals. And it's so much bigger than that. It's the most incredible transformation. And if you have a story that's tied to that, then your story is the story that you're telling about why coaching is so transformative. We want people to not just have to trust us because of what they saw on social media. We want them to trust us because they got value from us. They got real value. The bridge is the piece of you give them that free coaching call and they're interested, right? The bridge is they got to experience it, and that's how they become paying clients. That's a missing piece that so many coaches don't want to do. We've had so many beautiful conversations in the last couple of weeks, like, what's the limit to what I should tell people? Like, how much should I give away? I always say you give away everything. People need our help no matter what. They need our support no matter what. And the sooner that you believe that, look, there is nothing, honestly, nothing that you can't Google, ChatGPT or Claude. There's nothing that you can't go find an answer for. But what I know is that you still need a coach. I still know that I'm the missing piece to your growth. Do you believe that about yourself? Everything your person needs to know, they can find an answer for, but they can't find you. This, I believe, is the way to sell in the climate that we're in now. That's why I said in the beginning of 2026, I was like, this is the year that we have to create trust. We're in this economy, like the trust economy. We have to create that. I think it matters more than ever. And that's not going to go away, that year of trust. This is the time, and it's because of AI. And oh my goodness, even more because AI generated videos and photos. And I have done some AI generated photos, and I'm probably going to use some, but we have to be the ones that show up on these calls as ourselves to prove to people that they need us. So people can get information anywhere, but they cannot experience you. You're the only one who can hold space for them. But if you are that kind of coach that helps people, that is the mirror that reflects back to them what is going on for them, then there's nobody else that can hold that space than you. Each one of us has a beautiful gift, which is why we're here. All right. The second reason why you need to do the free coaching calls is to prove that you're the real deal. It goes along with the first one. This is the time to show people that you're the real deal. It's time to show people that you are the expert, not just talk about it. Like, talk is cheap. We can all talk about how great we are. We can all fabricate every single story. You have no way to know if the stories I just told you about those coaches booking all those calls and selling coaching is even true. Every one of us can fabricate that stuff. So the way that we show up and we get people to believe us is we do stuff like this, the free coaching calls. That proves that what we're talking about is right. People need time. In today's marketplace, people need time. This is interesting in 2026. Many of you have heard me talk about this, the 7-11-4 study that Google did this year, this calendar year. 7 hours people need to experience you, 11 touch points in 4 different locations. I just recently did a post on social media and I was like, how many hours does it take you to decide to hire a coach? I was thinking for myself, how many hours of the coaches that I've hired, how many hours of YouTube, of social media, of email marketing, of workshops, how many hours did I spend, like I'll call it vetting that coach before I got on a call? I think it's 10 hours. I think that is the average time that I spend getting to know somebody. So I just have to ask you, are you giving people the opportunity to get to know you in that space? And I remember I used to think if I posted one time or if I did one thing, I should get calls booked. This study right here is showing that's not the case. People need time, but when you really speed up the timeline by giving them that real connection time. So the free coaching call is definitely part of the time that they get to spend with you. And it is not giving away your time, it is investing your time. I talk about you can either pay for ads or you can pay to build your business with the time that you have. And I'm talking about paying to build the business with the time that you have. This is how you could be selling this summer. You could start this today.